Hi, and welcome to the Law Simplified. I'm Shaveen Bandad-Nayaka. A common missing element that I see in my fast track, masterclass, and on some occasions ad hoc students relates to something which is outside of the substantive law, outside of the substantiating factors like case law and the theory itself. Now, most of these students are well versed in relation to articulating responses that are proper in terms of the theory components, they're accurate in terms of the law, as well as the case law that they're using to substantiate it. But when I go through answer scripts and when I go through responses with a fine-tooth comb, and I'm put in a position where I need to provide a feedback report on what they can do to take their responses above and beyond, it's not necessarily that they're missing anything substantively, but there is something subjectively that is missing, that X factor, so to speak. And I've tried to quantify this on a number of occasions and tried to pinpoint, having gone through thousands of scripts over the past 6+ years, to determine what exactly are they missing. Now, what I've gathered is that the element that is missing is quite easy to incorporate if you can, for the lack of a better terminology here, think outside of the box. But more than me explaining it in the context that it should be, I think a different Shaveen makes better sense. So, over to you, Shaveen. Thanks, Shaveen. So what Shaveen over there was trying to get at was for you as a student to look at the substantive law and the substantiating factors in a new, fresh, academic perspective. What do I mean by this? The important factor that you need to remember from the perspective of the examiner is that they would already know the law that you are using to make your arguments. They may or may not be aware of the general as well as the specific case law that you're using to substantiate it. But what is unique to you would be the way in which you weave your arguments, so to speak. Now, granted, there might be occasions in which you're answering a particular question where the creativity that you can infuse academically might be less than, for example, in some subjects and in some topics where you have the opportunity to be subjective. But the goal here is to make sure an examiner looks at your answer scripts and thinks to themselves, this student has taken a novel or an obscure approach. Remember, as much as I have mentioned on numerous occasions on this YouTube channel as well as the different platforms that the Law Simplified is disseminated on, it's not really about what you know, but how you think. The more interesting and nuanced the patterns of thinking that you have, the better the chances that your examiner will reward you and then take your grade above and beyond. But just as much as myself and my counterpart tried to illustrate, try and look at the bigger picture and look at the circumstances presented to you with a novel and a fresh perspective. Having said that, until the next time that we meet, have fun, stay safe, and as always, obey the law.